Hello, boys and girls, it's me again. I wanted to do a video on a certain something. This isn't actually me playing any games or what have you. This is something that I wanted to talk about as a gamer. I've been working a lot over the summer. Just got into uni as a sexy, mature student. And I thought, hey, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to get maybe a new console. And I was umming and ahhing, as one does, and the one I went for was a Wii U. And because I've been thinking about it for actually quite a while, actually since the Wii U came out, and obviously the 360 and the PS4 last year, I think it was sort of like October, November time those came out. So I've been having a think. I'm more of a PC guy, but I thought consoles still have a place in my heart. Put that back down. So I figured I want one, just for laughs, really. So I had to think and I had a look around, and yeah, the other day, 2 days ago in fact, I went into Toys R Us and yeah, I bought a Wii U. And I thought I would talk about my decision to do that if you're interested, because obviously the top ones are the PS4 and the Xbox One, and I think as it currently stands, I think the PlayStation 4 is sort of winning in terms of sales, especially compared to that of... In fact, I'll just look that up. That's what I'll do. I'm going to look that up now. Excuse my sales here. My sales? I read the word sales. Just having a look at what is winning in terms of console sales, and I can't find... I can't really find it. However, it does say here, as 17th of January, it's actually quite early, Xbox One top selling US console last month. Let's find... Oh, okay, that's from 2008. Console sales, 2014. Right. I'm fairly certain that... That's from last year. Global hardware totals. Okay, I found something from end of 2013. Now, yes, I think the PS4 has done very, very well, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I went for a Wii U, and I think it's basically because it's mainly what happened with Xbox at E3 2013, I think. And they had that guy on there, I can't remember his name right now, he was the CEO of Xbox, I think, at the time. And he just started reeling off stuff that nobody wanted. And, you know, for me, the number one thing about gaming is the fact that the people that I get games from put effort into the games and they care about the games, and they look at the console and say, this is a gaming machine. If you want to play films and music and Facebook, you know, we've got computers for that. We've got these things that you could be burned as a witch for owning 10 years ago. You can do all of that on there. You can do what you like. Consoles, for me, sure, you should, you know, be able to play music and use it, you know, Netflix and whatever. They're really good utilities. But the main thing for me is it needs to play games. Well designed, well thought out games on there. So here comes Xbox One, and I went, right, everyone. Basically, this machine, and I think they labelled it the entertainment machine, that how they are aiming it as you get an Xbox One, you don't need anything else. I was like, okay, no, that's cool if you want to make it, you know, so it can play films and that kind of thing. But I remember watching like snippets of it, and I watched like the main launch of it, of Xbox One, and all it seemed to talk about was how you can connect to Facebook to tell your friends what you're doing, when you play a game, you can do that with the Kinect, that useless bit of kit that I really hate, and all of a sudden it will go that way, and you can talk to your friends on Facebook, and you can watch television, and you can. I was like, and it was preceded by a video of a guy trying this out. I think he was playing like one of the like a early version of Forza, and he was like, okay, so I'm playing Forza, and then I can go Xbox. Snap to television or whatever the hell it was, or we just went like that, and the TV came on, and he went, cool, so I can watch my favourite NFL game while I'm playing Forza. I was like, right, it's clever, but I don't see why. But you could tell it just affected the way that he was driving. As soon as it came up, his car just started doing that, and he was going over the corners on the racetrack, and I thought, so that's bloody useless. But people like that, that's fine. But the reason why I decided not to go for an Xbox One is because I felt that my trust had been betrayed by them, and I thought that all the things that they fixed afterwards was too little too late. I think they showed their true colours and what they wanted to do. Example, the Xbox always had to be connected to the internet 24/7. It checked it like every hour. And again, I know that they've changed all of this, but for me it was too late. It was too little too late. The fact that it had to be connected every hour to the internet, and if it wasn't, it wouldn't work. The Kinect had to be connected to it at all times, otherwise it wouldn't work. And I thought, hang on a minute, this is kind of a bit dictatorship-ish. Surely you should give something to somebody and say you're pretty much free to do what you like with it. And I thought, right. And then they said, oh, also, when you buy a game and you install it, it registers to your machine, so you can't share it with your friends. You won't be able to trade them in. I suddenly thought, hey, sorry, I had to do that. Oh, I'll put in the description, caution, there is neck clicking. And yeah, I just thought, what the hell's going on? You couldn't trade with your friends, you couldn't trade in games, you couldn't swap anything. You had to be connected to the internet at all times. So say if you'd moved house, for us, we're with TalkTalk, and they're appalling, and that took a good month to get any form of internet at all. And even when it got here, it wasn't right. It was awful. So if I had an Xbox One and I wanted to play stuff, I couldn't. Even single-player things. For me, my favourite games are good single-player games, and that meant you couldn't play it. And then you find out that like Microsoft, and I'm not going to try and get all the details right, but this is how I took it. Please, in the comments, tell me if I'm wrong. But all these big companies, it was suddenly came out of the shadows. All these big companies had been helping the NSA in keeping tabs on people for reasons, and one of those companies was Microsoft. In fact, I've got a page up here from BBC News Technology. NSA's access to Microsoft services detailed. Microsoft helped the NSA get around its encryption system so agencies could more easily spy on users of its services, reports suggest. And I remember this coming out, and I think Google was one of them as well. I can't quite remember. And I suddenly added 2 and 2 together and got a very big number 4 in front of me, in the sense of, all of a sudden, you've suddenly got this console that has to be connected to the internet all the time, and it has to have the Kinect connected to it in your living room. Oh, and by the way, the company that made it has got some dealings going on with the NSA. So my very, very simple brain went, if I got an Xbox One, I'm buying a security camera to put in my home, which has a direct feed to God knows what. I know it's NSA is the American thing, but I don't think that's going to stop them from spying on people, because I already heard about the Kinect, how it's used for promotions and advertising. So if I was playing a game and I saw a Star Trek thing behind me, I'd suddenly get the new Star Trek game, the new film, blah, 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 which is terrifying enough. But what I didn't want is a 24-hour live link while I was playing games, to a shadowy organisation, which I think is blowing it out of proportion a little bit. But that's how I read it. So, Xbox One, no. And I know they fixed all that. You don't have to have the Kinect. They're even selling the console without the Kinect now, or they're going to. And everyone went, you bastards, you know, buying it straight away. It doesn't have to be connected all the time. You can now swap games. So that just blew it out of the air for me, because I was considering, as things were slowly getting announced, I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll get an Xbox One. Because console-wise, in terms of the multiplayer, I think it was far better than what PlayStation do. PlayStation is still quite good. It's just it's quite simple, and you do have to pay for the 360 online, but it just worked for me. Achievements were more fun to get than trophies. Friends were easier to communicate with, you know. So Xbox, I think, won that in terms of multiplayer, but all of that crap, and even the guy that was talking about it, I'm going to find his name. He was even saying that, oh, you know, people were saying, what if we wanted, to play it offline? And he said, well, guess what, guys? We have got an offline version of the Xbox One. It's called an Xbox 360. And everyone went, what? Don Matrick, that's his name. The Xbox executive, Don Matrick. I believe that's him. Hang on. Don Matrick. Yeah, that was him. Yeah, and I remember, he was like, yeah, what if, like, you're a guy in a submarine? Oh, he wasn't, but the guy interviewing him said, what if I'm in a submarine, say I work for the Navy, and I've got a television screen, and now I've got an Xbox One, and I've got some downtime and I'll play it. I can't because I've got no internet. I'm in a lead pipe underwater. And you went, well, guess what? We got a 360. And everyone went, so you're saying we don't have to get an Xbox One? Okay, that's cool, fine. So anyway, this was going to be quite a short video, but I'm going off into a rant now. It was basically the entire attitude of the Xbox people that made me go, you know what, screw you. Oh, but we'll fix everything. It's too late. Your true colours have come through. That's what you want to do. Fine. I don't care. See you later. So that was my reasons for not going for an Xbox One. And also the cost as well. Now, PlayStation 4, I'm still thinking of getting a PlayStation 4. Mainly because there are some games that, for example, the Wii U that I've bought, although they might be released on it, I'm not going to hide anything. The Wii U graphics are nowhere near as good as 360, and especially Xbox One, especially nowhere near as good as a PlayStation 4. So, example, like the new Batman game might be released on the Wii U. I'm not getting it on the Wii U. And there are some games that, as much as I will be able to buy them for my PC and run them really well, I don't feel like they belong on a PC. Like first-person shooters, I mean, example, back when I used to play Call of Duty, and that's another point I'll get to, which for me died in 2005. I still think Modern Warfare was the best one, and then after that it went crap. Multiplayer on that worked really, really well. It's a proper mouse and keyboard game. So shooters like that. I'm not counting Borderlands in that, because that's a very console-y game, I think. But yeah, so things like the new Batman game, which isn't a PlayStation exclusive, but the new Uncharted games, things like that, that you need a... Although you can get a controller for your PC, I just feel like I need it on a console. And actually, most importantly, No Man's Sky, which looked phenomenal at E3. No loading screens, and it's just huge, like potentially infinite space. So I think I'm still going to get a PS4. So I got my money from, you know, I worked at MCM Manchester, earned a bit of money from that, and I thought I'll buy myself a treat. So it came down to either PlayStation 4 or Wii U. I love that, although PlayStation 4, you know, Sony might have been going, maybe we could like do some like proper digital management, you know, like proper DMR here, and like, you know, not give the end user. I think what happened was they waited for Microsoft to say what they wanted to say and went, right, that didn't work. So it doesn't matter what their intentions were. The fact that from the get-go they did that advert that said, like, step 1 on sharing games with your friends. Here you go, thanks. The end. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was well played. And even if they were thinking of doing that, they didn't announce it. They went, Microsoft, idiots. And I actually think that's smart. So, you know, even if that was their intention to do exactly what Microsoft did, they didn't go through with it. They didn't tell the world that they were going to be dickheads. So I really, really liked that. But I was just weighing it up, and I thought, right, the games on PS4 at the minute, what we got? Not much. We haven't really got much going on. Let's shop on Google here. Battlefield 4, don't care. It's, you know, I've still got Battlefield 3 on here. From the looks of it, it's the exact same game. Wolfenstein, I've always found them to be pretty linear shooters that you can complete in 4 hours and go, oh, well done, thanks. This is all my personal opinion. I'm not saying that's correct. It's just why I've chosen this. Evolve looks really good. I'm waiting for Metal Gear Solid. I wasn't too impressed with Ground Zeroes, but that was just a prologue, like a sneak peek into that world. Watch Dogs, I really don't care to the point of talking bad about it, despite I haven't played it. Yeah, it's Far Cry 4 I'm quite interested in, but so far, you know, half the games I was talking about aren't even out yet. It won't be until next year, like next summer / next Christmas, that all these big games are going to come out. So I thought, maybe not. Okay, Nintendo Wii U. Straight off, you have Mario Kart 8. You've got the Mario games. Like, still, like, not a lot of games, great games have come out for it. But I know that if I bought an Xbox One or a PlayStation, I'd look and go, because we all love Zelda, we all love Mario, and I wouldn't be able to get them because I couldn't, as yet, justify having 2 consoles. I'd love 2 consoles. And plus, the things that are coming out now for Xbox One and PS4 are coming out on the 360 and the PlayStation 3 anyway. The new Borderlands game that I'm really, really looking forward to is going to be out on 360 and PS3. They're not bothering with the next generation because they've even said you have an idea how much it costs to make a game for the next generation. Plus, we've done our research and not many people own the next generation anyway, enough for us to cater to that market yet. So yeah, I walked in 2 days ago into Toys R Us and I got that bad boy. I don't think it's got the same staying power as something like a PS4 because they're going to have, and like Xbox Ones, they're going to have the biggest titles on them. And I will admit that I don't think this is the sort of thing where you can go, right, I'm going to have a gaming marathon on Mario Kart. You might do for the first few days, but after a while, it's just something that you're going to dip into. It's not going to be like No Man's Sky or something where you go, oh, yes, and just play it forever. But I thought, well, I have a PC anyway. I can play those on there when they're released. And all these companies are saying that all these big games are going to be out next year anyway. So I went for a Wii U. And there was one story that I heard, and it was very early this year, about the, I've got another article up here, 29th of January this year, 2014. And the Wii U wasn't doing very well. I think the 3DS was doing okay, and there was some not great stories there either. I think what happened was they had to start paying the original creator of the 3D screen technology because they didn't technically own it. So that wasn't great. However, I heard this story and I thought it was amazing. Nintendo executives take pay cuts after profits tumble. The Wii U wasn't doing very well. There wasn't, well, there still isn't really amazing games out there for it. And I decided to like watch on YouTube and what have you. And the Nintendo president, Satoru, I'm going to get this completely wrong and I do apologise, Satoru Iwata took a 50% cut of his salary. This is obviously it's temporary cuts, but it was the statement that he basically said. Well, it was the President Iwata of Nintendo, and the other executives took pay cuts. He took 50%, and the rest of them took between 20 and 30%. And it was that level of I just thought it was an incredibly honourable thing to do. And as much as I think it was part of a press thing, so like, let's show people that we're nice. But I just get the feeling with Nintendo that they are nice. The fact that they did that badly, and rather than going, oh well, you see what happened was there was some errors in when we shipped it, and the companies and the graphs, you can see like the rest of these companies do. They blame everyone apart from themselves. Nintendo went, we are sorry. He apologised. I saw him. He was on a platform on a stage, and he took a bow and he said, "I apologise. We will be taking pay cuts because it's not right for us to pay ourselves this much money when the company isn't doing very well." And yeah, and Nintendo said net income fell to 10.2 billion yen, which is about 60 million pounds, or if you're across the pond, $99 million, and from April to December period, down from 14.5 billion yen a year earlier. Nintendo said that it sold 2.4 million Wii U units in the 9 months from April to December, at a slower pace than 3 million units in the same period of 2012. That's nothing. And they went, yeah, we're not doing very well. And it was that statement that made me go, you know what, Nintendo, you deserve my money, you deserve my attention. And I suddenly started thinking back to the days when I used to play my N64 and how that was the best console for me. The N64 was mind-blowing. And I suddenly started remembering about, I've got a 3DS. I bought one of them because I just really wanted Pokemon and Zelda. I thought, yeah, Zelda, yeah, I've played the other ones on the Wii U and GameCube. So Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, loved them. And suddenly thought, well, yeah, of course they're going to make new ones. So a new Zelda has been released, and it's open world. And everyone suddenly went, what? So, an open world Zelda? That's one step away from an open world Pokemon. So this got announced, and the trailer came out for it. It wasn't a particularly impressive trailer. Nothing really happened. I think they've pretty much announced now that was Link in the trailer with the bow and the monster going... And it looked like the hero's bow, but it was open world, and everyone went, okay, now I'm listening. But obviously before that, they went Super Smash Bros. And I don't know if you've seen the E3 2014, so this year, a few months back now, I think, the Invitational that they did. And this is what I loved, is that E3 2013, I don't think Nintendo took to the main stage. They had their own stage going on. I don't even think they did this year. They might have done, I can't remember. I can't remember where they did this show. But they said, right, Xbox and PlayStation, fight amongst yourselves because we know what you're about. This is what we're about, so we're going to remove ourselves from that. So Nintendo went like that. But then this year, at the Invitational, there was PlayStation and Xbox going, oh, our version of Call of Duty is the best because shadows, and we have a woman in it now, and it's like, right, okay, everyone, look at this game, isn't it good? Please buy it, thank you. Hello, I'm from so and so. We have this game now here. So what Nintendo did was they went, right, we got an Invitational. We're gonna have people from the audience, we're going to have people, we're going to get some celebrities in, and we're just going to have a battle with our game. You're going to see the game in play. Everyone lost their minds. It went mental. The bit with Mega Man, because in this you can get special moves. I think example for Star Fox, you just get a tank and you just run people off the stage, and it was incredible. But the superpower that you get, Mega Man's one, is just all of the Mega Man family just behind him with their guns going. Everyone went, oh my god, they lost their shit. It was amazing. I just remember looking at that going, yeah, I need a Wii U now. And it's just because, and this is the thing, is that as fun as playing games on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 are, and there are some fun games like Uncharted is one of my favourite game franchises of all time. It's beautiful. And I might even be guilty, as much as I detest Call of Duty now, I might be guilty of playing a few rounds of zombies every now and then. However, on a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One box, you don't have a picture like that. and it's just one word that kept screaming at me when I was thinking about this, and the word was fun. Sit down, play some Mario Kart. It's not going to be technically all wonderful, but it's bright and it's pretty and it's just so much fun. So that's why I went for a Wii U. And also, you look at the prices. So let's just go to our friendly Amazon here. See what we got. So an Xbox One. So still with Kinect, £379. Xbox One console with Kinect and Titanfall, £389.99. So £390. Ah, no, they have started selling it. Xbox One console with no Kinect, 350 quid, £349. So 349. PlayStation 4 exactly the same, 349. Some of the PlayStation 4 with Watch Dogs, £384. And I looked at some of the trailers for Watch Dogs. I didn't give a crap. Wii U, 240. It's 100 quid less. More than. The Wii U with Legend of Zelda pack was £240. I wanted to get that, but I didn't think... You know, I got the 3DS Zelda limited edition because it was a gold brick. I was like, yes, let's do that. So I got that. But no, so I went with the Mario Kart in the end, and I tell you, I don't regret it. It's just fun. I feel like Nintendo just care a bit more. And there's this quote. Hang on. Let's try and find it. Here it is, and it's one sentence, and it summed it up for me perfectly, and it's pretty much why I'm buying back into Nintendo, the underdog. And Shigeru Miyamoto, who is just awesome. I think, let me just double check this. Oh, he's a video game designer. I thought he was like president or Japanese video game designer, and he's a producer. Created Donkey Kong, Legend of Zelda, Star Fox, F-Zero, Pikmin, Wii series. Noteworthy games include Super Mario Bros. So he's just legendary, and he came out of this quote, and it summed it up for me. And I will actually leave this video here with this quote, and I think it's something that a lot of game developers looking at you, Call of Duty. So I don't have a problem with the idea of Call of Duty games. I've got a problem with every single Call of Duty game that's come out after Modern Warfare, after Call of Duty 4. Listen to this quote. Shigeru Miyamoto says, "A delayed game is eventually good. A bad game is bad forever." And you look at what they're doing with Smash Bros. And they went, "It's coming out here." And I went, no, it's not. I haven't seen one person punch their fist through a screen and go, "Why isn't it coming out this year?" Let's bring a game out every year. Let's do it every year, at least. I think Assassin's Creed is starting to do that. Call of Duty's been doing it forever, like the last 10 years. A game every year. Whereas Nintendo go, "Here's Smash Bros. Awesome. We're going to release it when it's ready." And everyone goes, "Sure, cool, okay." And that's why I went for a Wii U. There you go. So, let me know. Let me know. Oh, and of course, my main man, Reggie. Reggie, my body is ready. Was it Phyllis Ames? I can't remember. But again, on that, I employed to find it on YouTube. I can't remember what user put it up, but E3 2014 Smash Bros Invitational. It's like 2.5 hours long, but if there's just some highlights, watch it, because they got announcers and they got the crowd, and everyone goes out of their minds. So I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I've missed out any facts about it when you know, if you've got an argument with what I've said. Let me know, because I didn't want to go into any specs. Because basically, yes, in terms of specs, the Wii U isn't that great. So you've got like Wii U, Xbox One, PlayStation 4. That's how it goes. PC. But yeah, let me know what you think. If I've missed anything out, if you think very, very differently, let me know. And yeah, that was my... I don't know why I decided to do that. I just thought that would be a good video to do. Oh, it's on a nice half-hour mark as well. I need to sort out the lighting in here. It's very orange. So yeah, do let me know what you think. I'll see you in my next video. I love you.